The yarn that I used is Big Twist Soft. This is 100% acrylic. I used 2 skeins for the scarf, and I crocheted with a hook size H, 5 millimeters. The finished measurements of the scarf are about 92 inches long and 7 inches wide. For this particular size, using 2 skeins of the yarn, I started with 341 chains, but you can start with any amount of chain stitches you want. The length of your initial chain will determine the length of your scarf. I'm going to make a small sample to demonstrate how this stitch works. So for my sample, I will start with 20 chains. Now I'm going to make a row of half double crochets, but I won't be working them into the chain. Instead, I will be working them into the back hump of the chain, so right there. So if you take your chain and you turn it, you will see these back humps on the back, and I will be inserting the hook under those back humps. I make a half double crochet into the second chain from the hook. We never count the chain on the hook, we'll start counting from the next one. So 1, 2, and now into the back hump I make a half double crochet. And again, into the next back hump I will make a half double crochet, but first I'm going to insert the hook through the last loop of previously made half double crochet. So this is the loop right here. I insert the hook through that loop, and now I do yarn over, and then I insert the hook through the back hump of the next chain, and then I finish half double crochet as usual. Now again, first I insert the hook through the last loop of the previously made half double crochet. Next I do yarn over, and into the back hump of the next chain I work a half double crochet as usual. I'll show it one more time. Insert the hook through the last loop of the previously made half double crochet, do yarn over, insert the hook through the back hump of the next chain, and then finish the half double crochet as usual. And that's how I'm going to continue crocheting all the way across to the very last chain. Here I am at the end of the row. I have one more chain left, and I finish it the same way. Insert the hook through the last loop of the previously made half double crochet, and then into the back hump of the chain I work a half double crochet. So that's the first row. I turn my work and I start the next row with 2 chains. 1, 2. Now I will be working into the back loops only, inserting the hook right here under the back loops. So my first stitch is right here, not over here but right here, because these are 2 chains that I made after I turned. So I will be inserting the hook over here. So the first stitch I work a regular half double crochet into the back loop only. But now I continue crocheting as I did before, inserting the hook through the last loop of the previously made half double crochet. Then I do yarn over, and then into the back loop only I finish the half double crochet as usual. Again, I insert the hook through the last loop of the previously made half double crochet. I do yarn over. I insert the hook through the back loop only of the next stitch, and then I finish the half double crochet as usual. And that's how I'm going to continue crocheting all the way across to the last half double crochet. And here I am at the end of the row. Here is my last stitch. I started as before. I insert the hook through the last loop of the previously made half double crochet. Then I do yarn over, but the very last stitch I'm actually going to work through both loops, not only the back loop but through both loops. And I do that so that I get a nice straight edge on the side of the scarf. I turn my work and I start the next row with 2 chains. This is the first stitch right here, and this is where I work a half double crochet into the back loop only. Then I insert the hook through the last loop of the half double crochet just made. I do yarn over, and into the back loop only I make a half double crochet. Again, insert the hook through the last loop of the previously made half double crochet, yarn over, and into the back loop only I work a half double crochet. And that's it. That's all you do to work this scarf. And remember that the very last half double crochet should be worked through both loops, not only back loop but through both loops. And once you crochet more rows, you will get this beautiful ribbed fabric for your scarf. One piece of advice I would like to give you here is that it's very easy to lose stitches either at the beginning of the row or at the end of the row, or to make additional stitches. So I recommend counting the stitches after each row. In my sample here, I started with 20 chains. So in the first row, I had 19 stitches. So in each following row, I must have 19 stitches. And if you start, for example, with 200 chains, the amount of stitches in your scarf will be 1 less than the amount of the chains. So in that case, it will be 199 stitches. Once I crocheted the desired width of my scarf, I simply fastened off and I left a yarn tail 6 inches long. I'm going to add a fringe. So instead of hiding this piece into the scarf, it can simply be a part of my fringe. So now I will be adding fringe on the ends of the scarf. To make fringe, I cut yarn into the strands of 12 inches long. I take 3 at a time. I fold them in half, and then into the end of rows, I pass the hook, insert the hook. I grab this loop where I folded the strands of yarn in half, I pull through, and then I pass the ends through that loop and pull tight to secure. So that's how I'm going to make the fringe.